Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Yes. Welcome back. We've said this before. We're going to demonstrate it even more today on how your body is talking. It's saying something to you, but many times we're not listening or we don't understand the language or how to pick up on what our bodies are telling us. And that involves our physical health, our mental health, many different things you can do to listen to your body. There are
Yes.
lots of different modalities, and she certainly practices quite a few of them. Body talk trainer, practitioner. She's a master herbalist, certified nutritional counselor, doctor of naturopathy. Am I saying that right?
That's fine. Naturopathy, some say naturopathy. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're gonna learn more about that and how that can help
Okay.
you heal your life. We love to call her Dr. Jackie, and she's back with us. How you doing today?
I am doing fantabulous. And Steve, first, before starting, I would love to thank you for everything that you've done to help make all of this so successful. Thank you for your support, your endorsements of me, all of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am truly, truly grateful, truly
Oh,
grateful.
I'm grateful that we can get together and share this knowledge, and that's why we've made you our professional of the year. So, body talk session. Why don't we focus on that? One of the
Mhm.
modalities you offer to help people heal, and involved in that is a thing called applied kinesiology. What exactly is that? You've mentioned it before. Let's go there today.
Okay, all righty. Well, first of all, kinesiology, the official clinical definition of kinesiology is the study of the principles of mechanics and anatomy in relation to human movement. It's like the movement, the muscle movement. And I first I was really truly first introduced to it by a mentor of mine who used it on me long before I just decided to become a naturopath. And he used it to help decide what herbs he wanted to recommend to me rather than using what's the term? Rather than using what he thinks, he asks the body. So then it's taking the study of the anatomy and human and movement and applying it. And when you apply it, it's also called muscle testing. And muscle testing is an assessment tool that can be used to determine the nature of any imbalances that are within the body and any therapeutic recommendations that you can ask the body while you're servicing it and taking care of it.
Hmm. So I guess that goes back to what we said last time we got together, that the body doesn't lie. It's telling you what it needs, what it doesn't need, and we use that muscle testing to get the answers without this getting in the way.
Exactly, exactly. And it doesn't mean that this is a bad thing.
Sure.
It's just that it's just so much to process. And the humanism sometimes gets in the way of being more objective.
Mm.
And muscle testing um, and I'm going to refer to applied kinesiology as muscle testing going forward.
Okay.
Muscle testing um, allows us to get out of our head and to really get to know what that person's body or even our own body is saying in terms of yeses and nos.
All right. So now yeah, I've heard muscle testing, that term, many times over.
Right, right.
But applied kinesiology, starts getting very technical sounding, but now I got it. All right.
Yes, 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 yes. So the technical part, of course, applied kinesiology, because you're taking that study and you're applying it. But the regular everyday term is muscle testing. And
Hmm.
that's the term that most people are familiar with.
So, I know that we're
Yes,
we're going to try and do an example of that at some point today. Um,
yes.
a lot of this is just a yes, no answer, right?
It is, because we don't want to set up or get too in here to try to figure it. It's just a matter of establishing, is it this yes or is it that no?
Gotcha.
And so there's different ways of getting yes and no answers. It's not just one way of doing it. And I think we even talked about it. I think you even shared a way that you were using, and then we're going to make adjustments along the way in trying something different.
Well, I've tried muscle testing on a couple of different ways of doing it. Uh,
Yes,
then when we can show some of those examples, one of them is the sway test. I never really had
yes,
a lot of luck with the sway test because basically you are standing there and asking yourself a baseline question, whether it's yes or no. You know the answer, but that establishes, like for example, my name is Dr. Jackie. Well, if I was standing there to see which way I sway, we know that's a no answer. That's not true, and that gives you the baseline. I've had challenges in doing it because I do get in my head. I'm like, am I really swaying forward or back or left or right, whatever works for each individual. Um, that one didn't work for me. That one didn't
and
work.
I understand. And when I first studied muscle testing, the swaying was the way that I started off with practicing. But what I needed to do was to calibrate. So I would talk to my body and I would say, show me yes. And
Mm,
then I would sway moving forward, and then show me no. And then I would sway moving backwards. And that was the calibration. And then, of course, then I would put it to the test, that today is February 15th, when I know it wasn't, to see what type of response my body would get. And then I would try it on different people, that I would ask questions, yes or no, that I knew I didn't know the answer, but they did.
mm,
So just to make sure, as a calibration. And in fact, I used to try, when I first started, I would do the sway when I was in the supermarket, and I would say, should I get this produce, yes or no? Should I get that? And what was happening as I'm swaying, I had a lady come to me and say, ma'am, are you okay? And all I could do was start laughing, because I understood that from the outside looking in, that looked kind of weird. So I said, all right, I gotta try and other ways of getting yeses and nos, so that I could use it on a regular basis out in public and not cause any type of discomfort or distraction with other people. So instead, now I use my fingers. And
mm,
I told my body that I'm going to rub my fingers together. And when the answer is yes, I want it to be smooth. But when the answer is no, I want it to be rough. So I would practice that. Um, I would ask different people questions that I knew I didn't know the answer to, but I would check to see if I would get a yes or a no, give them the answer, and I tell you, 99.9% of the time, the answer was correct. As long as I wasn't trying to figure it out here, what I would do here is make sure that I was asking a clear question where the response was either yes or no.
So I just want to focus on that for just a second. Were
Okay, sure.
you were you asking them the question and they were rubbing their fingers together, or you were doing that?
I was doing it. Not that they couldn't do it, but I was doing it because I wanted to make sure that my way of calibration was accurate.
Gotcha. Hmm. I haven't tried this one before. We've talked about this previously.
Yeah,
Break the chain, where you're you're trying to break the link, and they say that you can more easily slip your finger through when it's a false or no answer.
right. Because that's how the person calibrates.
Right.
So you can calibrate it the other way so that when it falls through
Okay.
smoothly, that's a yes. But it's a matter of telling and stating that when it goes through smoothly, that's a yes. When it sticks, that's a no. I know of people who have been able to use their fingers so that when they calibrate so that when the answer is yes, the fingers bend, and when it's no, it sticks, it's stiff.
Hmm.
That doesn't work for me, but for some people it does.
Hmm.
And I'm like, if it works for you, go for it.
Can we give an example of this? Can we use me as a test subject, if you will? Calibrate me?
Okay. Do you want to be the calibrator or do you want me to be the calibrator?
I'm not sure how that works each way based on what you just said.
Okay, alrighty. So, what is comfortable for you in establishing yeses and nos? You know that my way is like this, yes and no. But what's comfortable for you?
I want to try something different. I've never done this, and I
Okay.
feel the sensitivity, so I think that might be okay. Sway test, my jury's out on that one. The break the link with your uh, okay sign in the index finger
Mhm.
kind of works for me, but I want to try something different.
Okay. So then why don't you? I'll show you so that you can test on me. Okay. So now what I'm suggesting is that you take your fingers and you calibrate, you decide what you want yes to be and what you want no to be. Do you want yes to be smooth or do you want yes to be rough? Do you want no to be smooth or do you want no to be rough? So you calibrate.
Now,
Don't tell me what you've decided.
I got to ask you a question though.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Isn't it you can't decide what you want it to be? It is what it is. What do I mean by that? If I were to ask myself a question and it's an obvious no answer, then you're rubbing your fingers together to see what it feels like, and that is telling you if it's smooth or if it's rough. And then to double check that, you would ask a obvious yes answer and then see if it's the opposite of what just happened. You follow what I'm saying? Like I thought that you can't just tell yourself, okay, if I rub my fingers together and it's rough, that is a I don't no answer.
Okay.
I thought that your body needs to tell you what it is. Like example, yeah, if
Okay.
I say my name is I'm my name right now, I'm going to do this. Okay. My
Okay.
name is Dr. Jackie. And I got something, I'm thinking about it. Now, an obvious yes answer. My name is Steve. So I don't know if you want me to tell you what's coming up for me, but that's, they seem different. And I could even double check it on a yes answer. Uh, I am wearing headphones today. I am wearing a funny hat today. So I think I've got, the yes and the no.
And you know what? And it's great that you approached it that way, because what it's doing is saying that what's yes and no for you is different from what yes and no for me is. I want the body to tell me, and we reach an agreement as to what's yes and what's no.
Hmm. I didn't
Okay,
know you
so
could do that because I thought you would be in your head, because now your head is telling your body, this is the way it's going to be, instead of your body saying, this is what I got. Just listen.
and it's both, because in the calibration you're just saying this is what's going to be yes, this is what's going to be no. But when you actually put it to the test, then you are able to see whether your calibration is accurate or not.
But I don't mean to belabor this, but
No, no, no,
this
go
is the, I
ahead.
think, pinnacle moment.
Uh-huh.
Maybe this is why it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work as well because I'm not doing that. I'm just letting the body what I think is what it is. If I establish, when I rub my fingers together and it's a no response, you shall feel this. If it's a yes response, you shall feel this.
So
I'd
yes.
rather do that.
Okay, as long as you know
Yeah.
your yeses and your nos,
Hmm.
that's the key. That's the key. And that's one of the most dynamic things that I enjoy about muscle testing, that it's clear yeses and nos based on the person who's using it, but it doesn't have to be your yes does not have to match my yes. Your no does not have to match my no. As long as we get clear yeses and nos, that's what counts.
Hmm.
And the key thing that I needed to do in working with clients was to in establishing yes and nos, because when I do a body talk session, it's out loud, so the person hears every step. And I let the person's body know that if the answer is a yes, we're going to get this response. If the answer is a no, we're going to get this response. And what I'm sharing with the person's body or with the person is that as the when the person is laying down on a massage table and I'm sitting next to them, I then calibrate and say that anytime the answer is yes, I'm going to lift the wrist and I want movement. And anytime the answer is no, I want resistance. So we test it out. I have the client tell me something that they know I don't know, just to make sure that the calibration is accurate. And then once we have established the accuracy of yeses and nos, and they trust that what's coming up, that the yes matches what their body is saying, and the no's matches what their body is saying, then we can go on with the session. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And I
Mhm.
deep question alert. Stand by. It's coming your
Okay,
way.
okay.
The muscle testing, applied
Hmm.
kinesiology, is that loosely connected to our gut and intuition? Or are they two separate things?
Ooh. No, they're not separate, because we are energy beings. And all of this is a way of establishing and understanding different ways in which our body will express and communicate the energy flowing through us.
Hmm. I figured that, because you're getting answers from within, and some of us can't hear our intuition, or
Right.
once again, the
Yes.
mind gets in the way of hearing the
Yes.
message. And I
Yes.
truly believe that we know the answer to everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes. Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
From right down to what your body wants for dinner or
Mm-hmm.
something major health related, what protocol you might take, for a health situation, your body will tell you. But
Yes.
the mind gets in the way, and a lot of times we don't make the right choice because we overthink it. So this, I'm going to be experimenting a lot with this, Dr. Jackie. I got to tell you,
Okay.
I mean that,
Good.
because I
Good.
almost
That's
feel like
right.
done right, applied kinesiology is like a conduit to the inside.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
I use it all the time, even if it's for certain things, everyday certain things like if I'm hungry and I'm undecided about whether I want this or that,
Yeah.
I'll ask my body, what? Because it's not always about taste. Many times it's about the nutrients
Yes.
that the body needs.
100%. And you're not going
Mm-hmm.
to know. The body's going to know. And they even
Yes.
say, even with the gut feeling, trusting your intuition, it's even been, I've heard many times people suggest that you test it on the little things. All right, well, what do I want? I'm going to listen to my intuition, my gut feeling. Try Chinese
Yes.
tonight or Italian, Chinese or Italian. What am I getting? What am I feeling? And then make that choice. Just as,
Yes.
just a
Yes.
fun little initial
Yes.
test.
That's right. Because the way that you get it is through practice.
Right.
And you'll be able to notice and apply the consistency of
Yes.
the response that not that you're looking for, but the response that the body is sharing.
And this is just the beginning of where the healing takes place
Yes.
within the body talk modality and the whole system. But it starts there with applied kinesiology. Dr. Jackie, thanks. I'm telling you, all day long, people are going to be seeing me do this because I'm going to be testing it, asking questions of myself.
Hmm.
Let me ask this question. How do we find
Yes.
you if somebody wants to dig deeper into this?
Okay. I'm going to share my website. Last time I shared phone number, I'll share the website.
Gotcha.
My website is www.earthlyessence.life, Life.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
start a conversation. If you're wondering about any of this and it's been going on for a long time, this is the answer that you might be looking for to help you heal, really get answers, really learn how to communicate with your body. It's amazing when we
Yes.
start really talking about it.
And you know what? This half hour has gone by so quickly.
I know.
Hopefully, next time I'll be able to share the chart that I use because again, it's not here. It's very organized. Share the chart and use that and really talk about the different areas on that chart, and then be able to do a just a basic, simple session, one step session. And I'm kind of leery about doing that because I am such a person that's into confidentiality, and the fact that what this recording does, it's very public. But
Are you
I
talking
will,
about using me as a test subject? I'm
yes.
fully transparent. I got nothing to hide. I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
The only thing I would ask is next time have it ready on your screen and you can share your screen with all of us of the
Yes,
chart. That would be great.
because I have the chart right here,
Yeah.
and then this way I can share it, and then we can go from there.
Looking forward. Dr. Jackie,
All
thanks.
right.
Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy your life.
If you see me, this is what I'm doing all day. I'm I'm doing it. All right. We'll catch up
Okay.
next time.
All righty. Take care.
You too.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.